it recording? Oh, there we go. Great job. Okay, there you go.
Is that it?
Well, now we have to listen. According to the World Health Organization, in the year 2020, approximately 1.5 million people will die from suicide. That means 1.5 million people will kill themselves because of mental illness, bullying, or other unknown reasons. 1.5 million people. There's increasing evidence that the behavior of using social media affects the changes in people's lives, especially in teenagers. Not to say all changes are negative and at the worst will lead to suicide, but a large chunk of social media does have negative effects on users. How many of you use social media? Me. The majority of us have at least one form of social media, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. For the purpose of accuracy, I'm only going to focus on the teenager population. That's people from 12 years to 19 years old. Teenagers, how many of you check your social media once a day? Twice a day? 3 times a day? Every hour? Every free second you get? That's right, Emmy, you do. Social media can become addictive to teenagers if not monitored regularly. I interviewed my classmates to see how much they relied on social media, and the results are honestly astounding. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 94% of teens who go online using a mobile device do so daily, and 71% of those teens say they have more than one form of social media. Another survey of 600 students conducted by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services found that nearly all the surveyed students use their real names. A survey including the students in my class found that all students surveyed use their real names on at least one social media site, most often Facebook or Instagram. That's out of the 92% that say they use their social media. When conducting my survey, I found that 97% of my class used Instagram, 82% used Snapchat, 50% used Facebook, and only 44% used Twitter. Over 80% of the students in my class have more than one form of social media. With more social media comes more time spent in total. According to one of my social media addicted friends, Zach, it's not uncommon for him to spend up to 10 hours on social media in a 24-hour day. That's including sleeping, driving, and eating. On the other hand, my friend Lucas only spends 4 to 5 hours on social media a day. They both admit currently spending more time on social media than they used to when they first joined. Another student in my class, Haley, actually had to delete her social media because it was consuming her life. She started out just like Lucas, only using it when she was bored or had a few minutes to spare. Then she quickly became more like Zach, and she began scrolling through Instagram in class and Snapchatting every time she picked up her phone. It got so bad she had no choice but to delete it. She was addicted. So, do all people have the self-control Haley does? And can they really put the phone down when it becomes all-consuming? The dictionary describes an addiction as the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. Activities including scrolling through various forms of social media. Multiple global-wide, nationwide, and smaller-scale surveys have been done comparing the positive and negative effects of social media. I think it's safe to say there's both pros and cons to the social media world. But when your life becomes consumed by the ups and downs and just keeping up with everyone else's lives in general, is it possible to actually put the phone down? Through personal conversations I've had with my peers and interviewees about their addictions to social media, I can confidently tell you it is possible. You can put the phone down, but it's hard. It's so easy to fall into the routine of picking your phone up every free minute you have. Many of my peers have given into that temptation, and some are still struggling with the addiction. It's hard to quit, but it is possible. There are ways to put up app blocks on your phones now. The concept is this: after spending X amount of time on a certain app in one day, you get locked out. If your addiction is to Instagram, maybe set up an app block for only 2 hours, and after 2 hours of scrolling through Instagram in one day, you'll be locked out of the app and only able to reopen it when a new day begins. It sounds ridiculous, but sometimes it is necessary. In total, the 63 kids in my class spend over 200 hours on social media a day. That's an average of 3 hours per student per day. I can tell you from personal experience that social media is addictive. I can tell you from personal experience app blocks actually work. And I can tell you from personal experience that you need to take precautions so you don't get addicted.
Woo! I believe in you, Lauren.
Yeah.
Thanks.